This is Arkies in the Beltway, a look at national politics and the Arkansans influencing the discussions. I'm Alex Thomas, Washington correspondent for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, reporting from the nation's capital. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Arkies in the Beltway for the week of July 7th, 2024. This week, we're taking a break from our usual focus on Arkansas's lawmakers and the debates in the Capitol's hallways to discuss art, specifically an annual exhibit showcasing some of the best young artists in the country. Since 1982, the annual Congressional Art Competition has given high school students an opportunity to have their art recognized on Capitol Hill. Young people from each congressional district submit pieces to be included in the exhibit located in the underground cannon tunnel at the U.S. Capitol. Judges in each district review each submission and ultimately determine a top entry. 4 Arkansans, one from each of the state's congressional districts, traveled to the U.S. Capitol ahead of Congress's week-long Independence Day break to meet other artists and celebrate their accomplishment. The Democrat-Gazette caught up with each artist, including Aspen Ikmanda of Little Rock, who spoke to us about her piece, Clock of Life, while standing in front of the Arkansas section of the exhibit.
My piece is, I think, 18 by 24, and it's fully done in pencil.
Ikmanda, a rising senior at Little Rock Central High School, submitted the top entry for Arkansas's 2nd Congressional District. Clock of Life depicts various versions of Ikmanda lying on the face of a clock, starting with herself as a baby and ending with her current 16-year-old self. She says the illustration was inspired by her art assignments, concentrated on 2D art and design.
My sustained investigation was about memories and how time affects how I look at my memories. So stuff dealing with nostalgia and stuff like that. A lot of distortions and pixelations as I forget some memories.
Dylan Gray, a recent Haas Hall Academy graduate, used multiple mediums in his piece, Jessica. The 18-year-old from Fayetteville utilized acrylic paint, charcoal, and fabric in putting the portrait together.
I tried to be really explorative with the color with the acrylic. I tried to emphasize texture with the charcoal and the fabric, and then I tried to use the fabric to emphasize the subjects, the person who I painted, her emphasis on how much she focuses on fashion.
Jessica, the winning piece in Arkansas's 3rd Congressional District. The subject in question, the Jessica behind the portrait, is Jessica Gray, the artist's aunt. Dylan Gray credits his aunt for furthering his artistic pursuits, purchasing art supplies and growing his awareness of different artistic styles and cultures during the times when they hang out.
I just remember all those times, as well as all the times we go out to things that my mom might be too busy to take me out to, so museums, taking me to show local restaurants and businesses that we can see. Generally, that's what I think of when I think of her, is all the places she has took me to experience more of the world.
Amara Miles did not have clear inspiration when she began what would become Flowers for You.
Honestly, I didn't know at first. I just kind of was I have tons of stuff to do. Let's see what happens. And then it just started talking. It was inspirational to me, and I was okay. Just adding small little things that just all started coming together.
The 15-year-old last year moved to Ashflat, part of Arkansas's 1st Congressional District. She was placed in an advanced art course, a move that she admits is rather unusual for a freshman student. Miles had experience working with pencils, graphite, and charcoal, but she was encouraged to try different mediums. This led to Flowers for You, a mixed medium work utilizing a wooden hand holding a bouquet made of sheets of music. Miles describes what it was like putting the artwork together.
I had to use all this hot glue. There was little blisters and burns on my hands because I'm just I would have to walk away from that thing every few minutes, just get a whole mental break, and just physically my hands, I would go into art next day, and then it's just fingers are still twitching, and I have all this, it was horrible. But it was totally worth it, and I just am so happy with how the piece turned out and that it actually got recognized like this.
In reflecting on the completed version of Flowers for You, Miles wants people walking by the piece to think about the individuals who have affected them.
I hope they can put it into their own lives and just think about someone that they want to talk to and someone that they think just needs the extra support of just reaching out and saying hi, just something as simple as that, and just communicating to them so that you can just reestablish a friendship and reestablish a communication and union.
Grisha Exley's piece also stems from an art lesson Intellect's Descent started as an art assignment under the 17-year-old's art teacher at Arkansas High School, Amber Phoenix. The photograph representing Arkansas's 4th Congressional District shows a book being dropped into a fish tank full of water.
She was teaching us how to do flash photography, and so we got this fish tank full of water, and we just started practicing, I guess. And at first it was with flowers and fruit and stuff like that, where she taught us how to use the flash and the camera and everything. And then after that, she told us to bring our own stuff and come up with things to drop in the water. And somehow I got to a book, and that's what I dropped in the water.
The book doesn't hold meaning within Intellect's Descent. Any observers will struggle to make out the words printed on the pages sinking into the water. Exley says the message of the piece relates to her concerns regarding the future of physical books.
Most kids, the only way they get better is through reading. I love to read. And I honestly think that's the only reason I pass my classes and stuff, is because I enjoy reading, so I have that vocabulary. I can do writing because I know how to read and comprehend what I'm reading.
Exley was born in Haiti. She moved through the United States foster care system before ending up at Water Springs Ranch in Texarkana. Amber Phoenix and her husband Travis accompanied Exley to Washington, D.C. As all three were getting ready for Exley's senior year at Arkansas High School, they were also preparing for a new stage in their lives, with the couple finalizing their adoption of Exley. The art pieces of all 4 students will be displayed in the underground hallway for the next year, when the new paintings, portraits, photographs, and prints will be installed. Members of Congress will be back on Capitol Hill this week for a brief period of legislative work. Lawmakers will have the next week off, with Republicans gathering in Milwaukee for their party's national convention. And that'll do it for this edition of Arkies in the Beltway for the week of July 7th, 2024. You can stay up to date with all news involving Arkansas at arkansasonline.com. You can get in touch with me on social media. My handle is @AlexHouseThomas. Special thanks to the team down in Little Rock. I'm Alex Thomas, and this has been Arkies in the Beltway. Thanks for listening.